Hello guys, welcome to our revision. We are just going to start right now in a few so that we can quickly go through this paper for the revision of the just done recent examination. It is a Pearson Edexcel foundation paper. For this code, it is very important for you always to note the code of the paper. So we are going to quickly rush into question 1. You are told that in this paper, you're not supposed to use a calculator. Therefore, we are going to start with the question 1. You're told answer all the questions. And to answer all the questions, you're supposed to write your answer in the spaces provided. That one also you have to pay attention to so that you avoid being penalized in one way or the other. Then also, you're told that you must write down all the stages of your working on this paper. So question 1, you're told to simplify. You simplify by adding this equation, some algebra here. So we are going to say E, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is. So you just write 5E. And that is how you're supposed to be answering that question. So in case you have any question, you're allowed to ask. In case you have any question, you're allowed to ask. Then now we can go to question 2. In question 2, you are told to write as a decimal. So to write an equation as a decimal, remember you're not using a calculator. So what you are going to do here is that we'll be using the long division method. And the only way we can achieve that, it is by rewriting the equation. You have to rewrite the equation in a way that will give you an impression of whatever you are working out. So let us rush now to question 2. We will say that this is 4 divided by 3. So 4 cannot divide 3. So we'll say it is 0 times. You put a point, then you add a 0 here. 4 cannot divide 30 fully, but it can go in a certain extent of 7, because 7 times 4, it is 28. So we subtract remain with 2. We add a 0 because 4 goes into 25 times. So it means as a decimal, this number is 0.75. We can extend and proceed now to the next part, which you're told in question 3. You're told to change 60 millimeters into centimeters. Change 60 millimeters into centimeters. So, you know, there is this always an hierarchy. You can take a screenshot of that. Some students do have formulas to convert it, where we say that 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeters. So we just ask ourselves, what about 60 millimeters? Then we cross multiply. That is 60 millimeters times 1 centimeters divided by 10 millimeters. So these ones will cancel a 0 and a 0. So it means that this is 6 centimeter. Then moving on to question 4. Write down a multiple of 8 that is between 25 and 35. So we are going to add all the numbers, because 1 times 8, 2 times 8 in that order, 3 times 8. So here we have 8, 16, 24, then we have 32. Then if you take 5 times 8, this is 40. So we have already passed the range. So they're asking for numbers between 25. So the only number that is between 25 to 35, it is 32. So we write there 32. Then we'll now go to the next question. The next question, where you're told an angle A is 53 degrees. An angle A is 53 degrees. What type of angle is that? So because it is less than 90, so maybe the angle is here. This angle is what they're talking about. These ones are called acute angles. They're angles that are less than 90 degrees. So we call that angle an acute angle. Then question 6, you're told that Samina works in a shop that sells pens. The table below shows the number of blue pens and the number of red pens Samina sold in each of 3 months. So you can see the table there. On April, this was the number. May, it was 40 and 14. June was 27 and 15. Work out the total number of blue and red pen sold in June. So I'll just come in June and I look at the number, total number. So it means we are adding. So if you had here, you have 12, 4. It means that the total number of pens that were sold in June only, you add the 2, you have 42 pens. Then you said that Samia says in this 3 months in total, I sold more than twice. I sold more than twice as many blue pens as red. I sold more than twice as many blue as red pens. So let us confirm if Samira is correct. You have to show you're working. So you can show you're working on the table, or you can show it downwards here on the space provided here, on the space provided. So I want to use the table so that you can be viewing it well. So the blue pens, we are going to add 33 and 40 and 27. So let me do it here on the blue. 33, you add 40, you have 73, and you have 27, which gives you 100. On the other side, if I add the blue pens, red pens, I have 20 and 14. It's give me 34. 34 and 15 will give me 49. So they are saying the total number of blue pens, the total number is more than twice. So I sold more than twice as many blue as red pen. Is that true? If you compare that, you have 100 and 49. Is it more than twice? Our key thing is more than twice. So if I multiply this by 2, I'm going to get 98. Still not reaching 100. So it means that this person is saying the truth. It is 2 more than. So you can say that yes, it's true. You can say yes because you just show the working, which will award you all the 3 marks there. So question 7, you're told that there are 10 pounds of coins, 20-pound coins, because you say P are the coins, and 10 coins in a bag. The bar chart shows the information about the number of 10 P coins and the number of 20 P coins. So what are we supposed to do here? You are asked, there are 8 50p coins in the bag, and there are 3 1 coin in the bag. So use the information to complete the bar chart. So we'll say the 50p, we have 8 of them, so you just have to use a ruler. I don't have a ruler for this case. I just have a sketch. It's supposed to go all the way to 8 of the chart. Then we have 3 touches that I have there. So that is how you're supposed to be doing it, but you have to make sure you use a ruler. Then you're told, show the total number of money in the bag. Show that the total number of money in the bag is less than 10. So less than 10 euros. So let us confirm they are less than 10 euros. So the 10 pounds, they are 12. It means this is 120. You multiply. Then the 20 are 7. So 20 times 7, that's 140. Then the 50 are 8. That gives us 8 times 50, which is 400. And the 1 pounds are 3, so just 3 pounds. If you add the total, you have 120 added together with the 140. This gives us 260. If I add 400, give me 660 plus 3 gives me a total of 663 pounds. But you know that 100 pounds will give me 1 euro. Therefore, if there are 6, just have to divide this by 100. Gives me 6.63 euros. So we have shown that the total number is less than 10. Therefore, 6.63, this is less than 10 euros. Just something like that will award you the 3 marks for that question. Let's go to question 8. You're told the diagram show are 2 sides of a kite. So on this diagram, you're asked on the grid, complete the kite. Kite, since let us assume that this is our mirror, they have to be equal because it only have one line of symmetry. So I'm going to look at the edges and the vertices. Here we have got from here to here. These are 3 boxes. So 1, 2, 3. I'll stand it somewhere here so that I can join using my ruler. Join a straight line, making it now a complete kite. It's not necessary to draw the mirror. It's not necessary, but I just drew the mirror so that we can have the line of symmetry. Then part B, you're told what is the mathematical name of this solid. This one is called a cylinder. Then we can proceed now to question 9. Question 9, you're told that Greg is X years old. Then Greg is 5 years older than Katy. So if Greg is 5 years older than Katie, write down an expression in terms of X for Katie's age. There are two ways in which you can write our answers here. One, we will say that because Greg is X, I have got two people here, Greg and Katie, because Greg is X years old, then Katie is, Greg is 5 years older than, so for me to get Katie, I have to subtract 5 from Greg. So therefore the expression expressing Katie's age will be X minus 5 in that order. Then we're told that Carl is twice as older as Greg, whereas Greg is X. Therefore, Carl will be twice 2X. And that one makes it even more easier. Then we can proceed with the next part. Where you are told that solve for y is equals to 12. So if you have given such an equation, these are quick things, just divide by 4, divide by 4. So to get the value of y, you just say 12 over 4. You have not been asked to use a calculator. You can write it as an improper fraction by dividing 4 here 1, 4 here 3. Therefore, the right answer should be 3 whole number. So write to the nearest thousands. How do we write a number to the nearest thousands? We just have to know the position of which number is at the thousandth place. So we have ones, tens, hundred, thousands, which is 3. Let me write it bigger so that at least we can see it well. So the 3 is the number in the thousands position. Therefore, I'm going to look at the number next to it, and automatically it's above 5. And if a number is above 5, we just have to add 1 here, and we make the others zeros. So we have 2, 4, and the other ones remain zeros. So we have 24,000. I told to estimate the value. So to estimate, you just bring it to the nearest number that can make it a whole number. So let me just estimate 5.9 to be almost equal to 6 as a whole number. And 98.1, you see, it's almost approximately to 100. So if I multiply 6 by 100, this one gives me 600. So that's just an approximate value for this answer. Then I told to work out this one. We can use the LCM method, or we can use the cross method. I'm going to show you the cross method as well as LCM method. So the cross method, you are supposed to find the LCM of 8 and 4, which for this case is 8. 8 goes into 8 one time, so 1 times 5 to give us 5. You subtract 4 goes into 8 twice, so 2 times 1, that is 2. So we have 5 minus 2, 3 over 8, and that's how we get the answer there. Using the cross method, some students does use that, so they just cross this and they multiply the one at the bottom. So we have 8 times 1, which is 8, and we have 4 times 5, which is 20. Then at the bottom we have 8 times 4, quickly, that's 32. So if you subtract 20 and 8, we will have 12 divided by 32. Then again, now you have to simplify that. You have that 4 will go here 3 times and 4 will go here 8 times. You still get the same answer. Work out of means you multiply 2 over 5 times 40 is the same as over 1. 5 goes here 8 times, so 8 times 2 is 16. Therefore, the answer there should give me 16. Then we also have a table here. I told that these are part of a train table from to Birmingham. Which train should take the least time to go from Liverpool to Crewe. From Liverpool here to Crewe. So in Liverpool, we have got 3 trains. We can call them train A, B, and train C. So let us see which one is taking the least time. So how will I know the time? Time taken for a distance is equal to arrival minus the departure. So train A arrived at 8:53 and departed at 8:07. I think you can see this and this. So if we subtract, we are going to have 53. You subtract 7, gives me 46. Then let us look at the second train. It is 9:22 versus 8:47. Since the one on top cannot subtract, we're going to borrow 1 hour here. So to have 60, 60 plus 20, that's 80. We have 82. Now that one will be easier for us now to work it out. That's 82 minus 74. This one will give me 35. Then we also have the last one here. The last one we have 9:55, and we subtract from 9:07. This working can be done down here. I'm just doing it besides so that we can have a clear view of the table as well as the working, but we have plenty space here where you are supposed to be doing that working. So we can subtract 55. 7 from 55, this gives me 48. Give me 48. So realize that the second working that we did, which is at the one at the middle, is the one that will take the least time to go from Liverpool to that 5. So we'll say the train departing, not a must you write all this, 8:47, and arriving at 9:51. Time taken, it is 35 minutes. And that's how we are supposed to show. Then you're told that Ross gets to station in Wolverhampton. Let us see. In Wolverhampton, we have got this 3 time. So, but we have got a dash here. It means that there's a delay or it's not available. So the person has just arrived at 9:25. So she wants to catch the next train to Birmingham. This train is delayed for 35 minutes. So if you reach at 9:25 in the station and your train has been delayed for 35 minutes because you are waiting all this time, so automatically maybe is one of the people who are supposed to be boarding this train here that is missing. So it means that the next train is going to take, this is 3 plus 2, 5, 6, because it's time, so we can round it off to 1 here to make it 10. So this person at 10 already is still in the train station. So the only nearby train is the next one, which is at 10:31. So what are they asking? How many minutes that Rose has to wait for the train? So the next train will be at 10:31. Yet right now it is 10:30 according to his time after waiting for that 5 minutes delay. So this person has to wait for the next 31 minutes again to board the next train, this one here. Then we have got a number machine here. You're told to work out, find the output. What's the meaning of an output? What will we get here if we put 6 here? So it will be 6 times 3, which gives me 18. Then you subtract 8, which should give me 10. So the output will be 10. So find the input when the output is 11. So if the output is 11, we just do the reverse of everything. Where I see subtraction, I do addition. Where I see multiplication, I do division. So it will be, you add 8 to make this one 19. Then we are going to divide 19 by 3. So 19 divided by 3. That one, if I convert it quickly, The closest number here it is 18, and that is 6 times. So remainder is 1. So we have 6 whole number and a third. 6 whole number and a third. Oh, sorry for that. I have just seen a negative here. I have not pay attention to that negative. So let me just redo that. Let me redo that kindly, if you allow me. So since it's a negative, if I have got a negative and a positive, it means that the negative is going to reduce. A negative is going to reduce to -3. So this -3 is the one that I'm now supposed to divide by 3 to give my answer as -1. And you can always insert here to confirm if you're right. So because -1 times 3, it will give me -9. -9, you select 8, it should be giving you that number. So we are now proceeding to the next number, which is question number 14. Remember, this paper is supposed to be done within 1 hour. You're told that the road has a length of 1.6 kilometers. So because they're talking about scales here, we are going to convert this into centimeter. Remember, King Herod did mathematics during Christmas morning, right? So from kilometers to centimeters, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 kilometer is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeters. If I convert this, it will give me 1/6 by cancelling 1 0 that has just brought the decimal out. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is in centimeters. Now we divide it by the 20,000. 1, 2, this cancel. Then here we have 8. Therefore, this is just 8 centimeter of length in centimeters on the road as represented in the map. Work out. Remember, we are not using a calculator, so we just say 135 divided by 100 times 48. It is better that you just work out the whole number instead of dividing. You can also divide as well if you are flexible with quick divisions and multiplications. Still no problem, because you have to be accurate. So let us see. I'm going to use the whole number multiplication method. So 8 times 5, it is 40. 0, I carry 4. Then I have, let me expand this way so that we can have enough space. Then we have 8 times 3, which is 24. 24 plus this 4 here gives me 28. 8, I carry 2. 8 times 1, that is 8 plus 2, 10. So this one is going to start from here because you can see the position. So 4 times 5, it is 20. Right, 0, you carry 2. 4 times 3, it is 12. You add this to 14. 4, you carry 1. 4 times 1, it is 4 plus 1, it is 5. So we realize that now what we are supposed to do, it is just adding. If you add, we have 6480. You always have to start adding from the right, going all the way to the left. Don't do what the teacher does sometimes. I have cautioned that to you. So we have this number multiplied. Remember, we are supposed to take now 6480 divide by 100. Cancel here, bring 1 0, so that I have my answer as 64.8. That is the right way to do it. You can also leave your answer as a mixed fraction in one way or the other, if that is. So you're told that in this figure here, AED, and B, C, D are straight lines. You can see these lines here. This is what they're talking about. They're straight lines. Then D, ED is equal to EC. So if they're equal, it means we can find this angle, right? So this is 40. I'll say 180 minus 40 to give me 140. Divided by 2 because they are equal, get 70. So it means that this angle here is 70, and this angle is 70. So show that they are parallel. EC, this line here, it is parallel to AB. And you know the property that parallel lines, opposite angles of parallel lines has to be equal. Is that true? Here should be 70 and there should be 70, which we can confirm that they are both 70. Therefore, this makes it parallel, and they are also equal. Being that the angles they are equal makes that two lines to be parallel. So you can have to do the working on the diagram, or you can just write all the steps here as you work them out. The one that works more better for you, any that works better for you, should be accounted for. Then you're told that someone wants to use this recipe to make 15 pancakes, but you can see that this pancake can only make 10. So to make another 15, it means now another 5, we have to take a half of everything here. So for the flour, we'll have to add another half of it, which is 50 grams. Here, half of it is 100 grams, and half of this is 20, and half this is 1. So total of the flour should be 150 grams. Total for the milk, it has to be 300 milliliters. Total for the butter has to be 60 grams, and total for the eggs, they have to be 3 eggs. Let us confirm if Sam's receipt can make the 15. So does Sam has enough? So for the flour, it has to be 150. That is enough. For the milk, it has to be 300, which is not enough. For the butter, it has to be 60, which is enough. And for the egg, it has to be 3, which has 5. So this milk makes this recipe not to be of standard to make for the 15 people. So you say no. With all this working here, or you can just say what is the reason. You can just add with your compulsory the reason why you are saying this. We need 50 milliliters more for milk. Any reason there, any reason, or the working there should be awarding you the marks. So let us see. Here are heights in centimeter of 12 children. Then show the information on a stem leaf diagram. So how do we show information on a stem leaf diagram? We have to look at the values. All of them are starting with 1. So we can say all of them are starting with 1, no problem. Then the second digits differ because this one has got 4, you have 3, you have 4, 5. So they are all going with 4, 3, 5. So we can say 1, 3, 1, 4, and 1, 5. So how many 1, 3s are there? Let us start. 1, 3. We have 1, 2, 3. Those ones are the ones having 1, 3. But there are 3. So the lowest is 5. So I'll say it is 5. You can put a comma, not compulsory. 7. I'm arranging in order. 8. Then we now go to 1, 4. 1, 4 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those 6, the smallest among the 6, Ogwodo, the smallest among the 6 is this one here, 44. So I say 42. So we have 42. We don't have 43. We have 44. Do we have 45? Nope. 46. Yes, we have 2 of them. So I have to produce all the 2 6. then 47, and finally 49. Then the 5s, they just remain 3. So we have 0, 2, and 4. So on the key, we will say that if I see 1, 3, stroke 5, this one is equal to 35. Just something small like that. Any value that you want. Find the highest common factor, HCF, of these two numbers. So we have 54. I'm going to use the table method. You can use the completing tree method. You can use the sets Venn diagram method. Still no problem. So which bigger number, which one number can divide all of them? I'm going to start with 2, because you have to start always with the smaller one to avoid confusion. So 2 will divide 54, 27, and it will divide 120, 60 times. Then 2 cannot divide all of them because of 27. It is an odd number. So we'll say 3, because 3 can divide all of them. So 3 will divide this one 9 times, and 3 will divide 60 20 times. We don't have any other number that can divide all of this, of these two numbers, 9 and 20. Therefore, the highest common number, it is 2 times 3, which is 6. You have got a certain long instruction here to follow. You have got a long instruction here to follow. You are told this is probability. So you have to be very, very cautious when handling such a probability equation. So in this probability equation, you're told that there are red counters. Apart from that, we also have the white counters. And apart from that, you have blue counters and green counters in a bag. You have to understand the long questions, because there is where people do fail. Now, you have told that Chris is going to take a random counter from this bag, just taking any, not specified of which color or what. So Chris is going to take any random counter, and you can see that we have got the color on top, and we also have the probability. So the table shows the probability that will be taken round, and the probability that will be taking a white counter. So the main question here is, we have got blue and green not failed. So it is up to us to find the answer for these two. So let us see the instruction given here, that there are twice as many blue counters. There are twice as many blue counters as there are green counters in the bag. What does that mean in knowledge of a mathematics student? What does that have to mean to you as a student? What does it mean? Sorry for that. So we'll have to proceed. Sorry for that. We'll have to proceed. We'll have to proceed. Just a small interruption. I think it did not affect our lesson. I can see people writing some questions. I'll be responding to them in a few. So let us go straight back into the paper. You're told there are twice as many blue counters as there are green counters. Work out the probability that Chris will take blue counters. So twice as many blue as green. So it means that if green is X, the blue will be twice 2X. And remember the rule of probability under decimals. If you add all of them, it is supposed to be giving you 1. Therefore, 0.3 plus 0.1 plus 2x and x will give me 3x. This one should be adding out to 1. So what is the value of x? This is 0.4 plus 3x should be giving me 1. Therefore, 3x is equals to, this one comes this side, so that I have 1 minus 0.4. Therefore, 3x is equals to 0.6. So the value of 0.2. So if x is 0.2, twice blue will be 0.4. So work out the probability that Clara will take a blue counter. So blue counter will be 0.4 because it is twice. Then next, we are told that there are 57 red counters in the bag. So remember the red are 0.3. Work out the total number of counters in the bag. So if 0.3, because this is the red, if 0.3, the red, 0.3 is equals to 45. This is the probability. What about one whole probability? So it will be the probability times 45 divided by 0.3. And remember, we are not using a calculator. So what will I do here? It's the same as saying P, this is P, so P and P will cancel to leave this with 1. So this is 45 divided by 0.3, and 0.3 is the same as 3 over 10. So it will be 45 times 10 over 3. I think you know the rule of divisions. So 3 here 1, 3 here 1, 5. So it means that total counters here are 150 in the whole bag. The total number of counters are 150 in the whole bag. Now we will be proceeding on to the next question. It's a graphical question. First, asked to complete the table. So to complete the table without using a calculator is easy because we only have the square number. You just have to square the number. For example, this one. Any number that is a negative is squared, it becomes a positive. So 3 squared, it is 9. Plus, because a negative, just say minus 3 minus 4. So 9 minus 3 minus 4, we have 2. That's how it goes. Then also this, I'm going to replace it here so that I have 2 squared, which is 4. Then minus 2. I'm putting minus because it's a minus and a positive. A positive and a negative give me a negative. Minus 4. Then you have to do some small indices there. 4 minus 2 minus 4. It should be negative 2. What about 0? 0 squared is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Minus 4, we have negative 4. Then we have 1. 1 squared plus 1 minus 4 gives you negative 2. So 2 squared, it is 2. It is 4. 4 plus 2, that's 6. 6 minus 4, we have 2. So we are now going to plot this on the range that has been given here. So we have negative 3 and 2. So let us see. Negative 3 and 2. We put there. Then we have negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, and negative 2. It is here. Then negative 1 and 4. -1 and -4. 0 also with -4. Then 1, -2, 1, -2, and 2, 2, 2, 2. Since this is a quad means a square, it's a quadratic graph, it's supposed to be cutting the x-axis twice. So let us see. We have to take, without using a ruler, we have to make it as smooth as possible. Just join. Just join it. It has to be a smooth curve. That this is the equation of the line y is equals to x squared plus x minus 4. That is how it is supposed to be. Then the next part, you're asked here you're asked to write down the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. So the graph is turning somewhere here. The turning point, that's what they want, the point at which the graph is turning. So we realized it was turning at this position here. They don't want the value of x, the turning point. So the turning point we can just take maybe at the middle of this, which is -0.5 and 4, -4. That is where they are turning at. This is the place where they are turning. So that is the turning point of the graph. Then now we can look at another one. On another one, the next question, 22, we are told that there are 280. There are 280 chocolates in box. There are only dark chocolates, milk chocolates, and white chocolates. Yes, there are only dark chocolates, milk chocolates, and white chocolates. So a seventh of these are the dark chocolates. Let's see. A seventh means 1/7 times 280. 7 goes here 4 times. So we have got the dark chocolates as 40. The number of the white chocolates to the number of the white chocolates is 1:3. So let's see. The total ratio here is 1/4. So it means that the milk chocolates are going to be 1/4 of the remainder. Remember what remained here. So we added 280 and we have removed the dark chocolates, which are 40. So the ones that are remaining here are 240. So if I multiply here by 240, so that I can have the milk chocolate and also 3/4 times 240, this will give me the white chocolate because its ratio is 3. So we know very well that 4 can divide 240. Yes, 60 times. So here we have 60. Just multiply 3 by 60. So we have 180. So I have 40, 60, and 180 for the chocolates. Write the number of the white chocolates. Remember the white chocolates, where we have the white chocolates are 60, to the number of the dark chocolates. The dark chocolates are 40. In the ratio n is to 1. So how do I write the ratio n is to 1? It means here has to be 1. So I have to divide it by 40, and this side also dividing by 40. Therefore, I will say 2 divides here 3, 2 divides here 2 is to 1. Or you can say 1.5 is the value of n. The value of n goes to 3 over 2. So you can write 3 over 2, or you can just write 1.5. Still has no issue. 3.2, or 1 whole number and a half in the ratio. So that's the value of n. Now 10 milk chocolate from the box are eaten. Does this affect your answer in part A? Does this affect your answer in part A? So 10 white chocolates. Let us see. 10 white chocolates. 10 milk chocolates. 10 milk chocolates are eaten. So if you eat 10 milk chocolates, it's going to make it 50. Right? It's going to make it 50. The total number also are going to reduce. The total number are now becoming 170. So it means a seventh of 170 is around 24 or something. So it's first going to affect the fraction and also to affect the answer of this. So what will I say? Does this affect your answer in part A? You say yes. Why? It has affected the total numbers of chocolate. You can say which also affects the final ratio. So that's how it's supposed to be done. Here we have got a question 23. You are asked to work out and give your answer in form of a standard form. So what you're going to do here, just multiply here 570. Then we are going to add this by 900. We are going to add this will be 98, then 2 zeros. So 9,800, because the 1 0 is going to remove the decimal to the right. So we have 570. So we have 0, 7, then 13, 10. So this inside form, from this way forward, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be 1.037 times 10. I have moved 4 steps to the left. So this one is what I'm supposed to be getting as the answer for that equation. We are moving on, almost finishing, left with only 2 questions, question 24 and question 25. And question 25 only, 26. We have 3 questions, very short ones. We can clear them to work with the boundary of the exam requirements. You are told that there are 4 sides of a polygon with n sides. So it has got n sides. Then you are told that BCX is a equilateral. It means that all the angles are 60. And this one is a square, therefore this is 90. So 60 plus 90, this one will give me a total of 150. So there are 2 ways in which people can approach this question here, which will give 2 different contradictory answers. So after adding this, because now we know that this is the exterior angle, and the interior angle is 150, and I want to get the number of sides. I know that interior plus exterior should give me 180. So 150 plus exterior give 180. Therefore, the exterior angle is 180 minus 150. For this case, the exterior angle, it is 30 degrees. Identify number of sides. If I have exterior angle, you take 360 divided by the exterior, which is 30, and we'll have 1, 2, which is 12 sides. There are people who can use the rotation method, and if you use the rotation method, you're going to have 9 sides. If you use the rotation method, that means you're going to add more on the 90. And if I can maybe guide you for people who want to use the rotation method, they will say that 3 degrees is equals to 120, which give them around 40 after adding 90, 90, and 60, which can sometimes be misleading because where do we get the other 90 from? So just leave that, and I think that should be the right answer. We're told that the straight line L is shown on the grid. Find the equation of L in form of y is equals to mx plus c. First, what we're going to do here, we are going to identify 2 points. The first point, I'm going to use this point here. I'm going to use this point here. This point, which is 0 and 3. And the next point is this point here. I'm going to take 2 points. If I take any point where they are meeting, any point that are meeting to find the gradient, then I'm going to take 4 and 0. So to find the gradient of this, we'll say gradient is equal to change in y, which is 3 minus 0 over 0 minus 4. So we have 3 over negative 4, which is 3/4 negative. So the negative makes that the line is going to cut on the negative correlation. Therefore, we will say that 1 point y minus 3 over x minus 0 should be giving me the gradient. So if I cross multiply here, I will have y minus 3 is equals to minus 3 over 4 x, because the other one is 0. So the equation in form of y is equals to mx plus c will give me y is equals to negative 3 over 4x plus 3. That is how it is supposed to be done, because the y axis, this one is the gradient and this one is the y intercept, and you can see it is cutting it at 3. So the last question, you are told that work out 2c. So we are going to have 2c plus 3d, 2 negative 1. So 2 times 7, that is 14, and 2 times 4, it is 8. Plus this is 6, and this is negative 3. So we are going to have 20, and the other one you're going to have 5. Don't simplify. So we have 20 and 5. And that is how this paper was supposed to be tackled, as easy as that, to get the total of 80 marks. So people who have just written their questions down, I'm going to give them a response in a few, and that is how this paper was generally supposed to be done, and you get a total of 80 marks. That for paper 1. Stay on, as we are going to look also in paper 2 and paper 3, both foundation and higher tier. I'll be coming soon with the higher tier. Thank you very much. Have a blessed time as I end this live.